Alright, so I wanted to do a tank tier list, but based off skill. I think it'll be really interesting to see. I know this looks a little off. I've never used Excel before, so I mean, you can probably tell, but this is how we're gonna rate them. We're gonna rate their mechanics, the skill ceilings, right? Like the peak that you can hit. We're gonna rate the minimum, like the minimum level that you need to be decent at them in ranked, right? And then we're gonna count some tech, like if your character has a some kind of bunny hop or like a specific thing that you need to do. We're gonna bump you up for some of that, and then your learning curve, right? Like how hard or easy is it to learn your character? And then we're just gonna sum it up. Everything is gonna be out of 10. So yeah, now just for context, in case anybody like wants to know like why am I rating tanks, it's because for the past 2 seasons I've been maining tank. I also made a tier list just ranking the tanks based off their current meta, and I told people like, oh, I haven't really placed this tank, I haven't really played this tank, so I can't really say like exactly where they are, and they told me to play them because apparently it's just aim or whatever. I played them, and then that got me into playing like some of the other tanks. So I played enough tanks to know like a lot about like every tank, right? And I also got to GM last season, right? I'm in the mid ranks. I got to GM this season. I'm in diamond. I think I can get to GM again. I don't think it's crazy, but yeah, I'm gonna get into it. But first is Captain America. So mechanically, I don't think you have to be that crazy on Captain America, right? His animation cancels, I know it got removed, but you still kind of need to do it, right? But even when he did have it, it wasn't that hard to do. Like you basically just, like, you feel me, you just spammed your left click. I know it wasn't really spamming, but that's pretty much it, right? So mechanically, I don't think he's that difficult. Like he doesn't have that many combos. Like he doesn't really have anything that's like mechanically challenging. I know there's this one thing. I know you can juggle with Cap. I'm pretty sure it's not worth doing and it's really difficult, but I don't count that because I've never seen anybody do it outside of a clip. Like no top Captain America players do it. So yeah, I don't think I can give him that many points for just that. So mechanic wise, I'm gonna just put him right in the middle. I don't think there's anything special that you have to do with Captain America, to be honest. Like he's not like a crazy character, especially now that he has his animation cancel removed. So yeah, it's a 5. All right, now skill ceiling, I do think he has a pretty high ceiling, but I think it's really all just player based, right? Like the decisions you make, like the plays you try to go for, how good you are at securing like kills, right? How well you know the ins and outs of like certain characters, right? Not just your own character, but like the characters that you're going against, right? So I do think he has a pretty high ceiling, but I don't think it's as high as most people make it out to be. I feel like he has sort of like a dive tax where as long as it's a dive character, people automatically like bump him up. Like I don't think tax is the right word. Dive inflation, right? And cap inflation was a real thing because people were saying like 5 kills on Cap is like 30 kills on any other character. Like come on, bro. So yeah, I don't think his skill ceiling is that high. So skill ceiling, to be honest, I don't think it's high, but I don't think it's low. I think it's like an 8. I feel like an 8 is perfectly fine, bro. I don't think anybody can complain, to be honest. So yeah. Now skill minimum, the minimum that you need to play Cap is really just like any other diver. Go in and go out. I see so many Caps who don't deserve to be on Cap, who shouldn't be on Cap, not who don't deserve, who shouldn't be on Cap. I feel like the skill minimum for this character is higher than people realize. To play a character like let's say Wanda, I feel like you can pick her up for the first time in a game and you would do fine. Captain America is not like that. I feel like you need to play Cap for at least a few hours in like quick play or some shit in order to take him out in ranked. His gameplay cycle, I feel like a lot of people like get really greedy on him, so I feel like his skill minimum is like way higher than people realize. So skill minimum before you take him out in ranked, I'm gonna be honest, you need to be at least a 6, bro. If you're not at least a 6, do not whip him out in ranked. Like it's not gonna end well for you. Like so many characters do so much damage, it's not worth it. All right, now tech. The only useful tech that he had was that animation cancel, and the animation cancel was nothing fancy. He got it removed. Like the only other thing, like I said before, is the juggle, but nobody's juggling anybody. It's like a waste of time. You don't do enough damage quick enough, right? Nobody's doing that. The only other tech that I can really find is this one where you slam and then you use your dash, and then the other thing is like this, right? When you're just jumping up back and forth. The last one I can really think of is like the DZ shuffle where you just go back and forth like that.
Basically, the DZ shuffle is flash stepping left and right between each hit. Between each hit, flash stepping left and right. So it makes it extremely hard for the enemy to hit you while you're beating the hell out of them.
That's actually pretty useful. So there isn't like a lot of tech. I'm gonna just put the tech at a straight 4. Like, I'm sorry, like he doesn't have a lot. He got one of the biggest tech for him, it got removed. Like, it's not looking good, bro. Now the learning curve for him is actually pretty simple. Like, he's not a hard character to learn. Like, all you have to do, I mean, now with his animation cancel removed, I just changed my melee and my primary fire, like they got switched. So now if I spam my left click, it just throws straight punches, right? My melee button, which is my side button, that throws my shield now, right? But learning him is really easy. I feel like the only thing that really takes some time is like learning your matchups, learning how exactly to like get the most value, because most of the time you're not gonna be doing much in terms of like actually fighting people, you feel me? Like, you have to learn how to get value without fighting. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. So the learning curve for Cap, I would say it's like a 7. It's not crazy, but it's also not simple. So that adds up to a total of 28. The max you can get is 50. Although I don't think any character really hits all 5 of them, so I think this is pretty high. All right, so Doctor Strange, right? I'm not gonna explain the abilities unless it has to do with the category, so that's just in case y'all were wondering. But anyway, just a quick overview. Doctor Strange is a shield tank. Mechanics, he's not that difficult mechanically, right? Like, none of the things that he does is that crazy mechanically. He's one of the easiest tanks. I feel like even the worst people, like, if you think your mechanics suck, like, Doctor Strange is not gonna be difficult. So mechanics, really simple. We're gonna give it a 1. It's not a bad thing, right? He's a shield tank. He doesn't need mechanics, but yeah. All right, so skill ceiling, I feel like in the current meta, in order to be a good just shield tank in general, I feel like you need to have a higher skill, or you just have a higher skill ceiling just because you're playing into your counter, right? Like, brawl is kind of the meta right now, brawl / dive. I know the big 2 divers got nerfed, but they deserved it. I don't care. But anyway, you do need a high skill ceiling for this, right? Like, your portals, like when to use, like, specifically your ultimate. Your ultimate, it's like the hardest thing to get off. Like I don't care what anybody says, too many things can counter it. Like, just imagine the enemy team has an Emma ready to pull out her diamond form, a Luna ready to freeze you, a White Fox ready to charm you, Invis has 2 counters to you. Like, it's really hard to get your ult off, but just off the fact that he just doesn't really have that much, I feel like, again, with Captain America, it's just decision making. I don't think he's like that crazy, but I don't think he's easy. So skill ceiling wise, I feel like he's a 7, right? I don't think he's that crazy. All right, now skill minimum. This character is really simple. All you need to do is this. You have 2 main things that you do. Primary melee when they're up close, right? So we're gonna get up close. Primary melee. If they're further away, you primary shield. That's it. When you're ulting, you shift, ult, shift. That didn't work because I suck. Or you can just shift, and then ult. Like, his skill minimum is like on the floor. I don't think he's that difficult of a tank to learn. I feel like anybody can learn him. Just spend like 10 minutes in the practice range. You'll be fine, bro. The only thing that might be difficult for some people is the portals, because they are kind of weird. Like, you have to place them upside down, like, in order to get people in a void and stuff. Right, like this portal straight takes me to the void. But that's pretty much it. But again, I don't think he's that difficult of a hero to learn. So yeah. So the skill minimum, I think it's at a straight 4. He's not that difficult to learn. Anybody can learn. All right, now the tech is at the skill minimum. It's what I just mentioned. The primary melee, primary shield. It's not that hard. The only thing that might have like a higher ceiling is a portal. Like getting people off the map with the portal, it's mostly based on luck. I don't think it's a tech. You go for it and you kind of just have to hope for the best. Like if you've ever been hit by one of these portals walking out of spawn, like I promise you, like people make fun of people who fall for that, but it's literally unreactable if they do it right. So at the tech, we're gonna put him at a straight 4, same as the minimum. I feel like they go hand in hand. It's not going to be the same for every character, but for this character, they really do go hand in hand. And for the learning curve, I've already said you just need 10 minutes in the practice range and you're fine. I feel like it's at a 5. It adds up to a total of 21 points. All right, next up we got Hulk. All right, mechanics on Hulk. This might be a hot take, but Hulk mechanically isn't that difficult, right? If we put the B-hop aside, Hulk really doesn't have any mechanics until it comes to his ult, but his ultimate is just timing, right? Like I'm telling the truth. Punch, punch, jump, you catch him, and then you repeat the same thing, right? So it's like that, but his tech isn't difficult. It's just timing. I feel like Hulk looks harder than he really is. I'll explain why in another category because it ties into that, but mechanics wise, I don't think he's that difficult. I feel like he's the same, not as Captain, I'm lying. He's higher than Cap, but he's not as hard as people make him seem, right? Mechanics, I think he's at a 7, right? He's not crazy difficult, but he's not easy either. He's like right above where it starts to get difficult for like a lot of people. All right, now skill ceiling wise, so you have bunny hops, right? You also have the juggles and all the different types of juggles, but I think the hardest thing on Hulk is really just the decision making. Like my best tank is Venom. On Venom, if I make a mistake, I have my overshield, I can climb on a wall, right? I can like slam again. I have my ultimate that gives me like 2,000 overshield. I have a swing, so I have a bunch of get out of jail free cards. On Hulk, if you make one mistake, you're gone. You make one mistake and your ult is dead. You make one mistake on Hulk, you turn into Banner. If you're turning into Banner mid game, you're pretty much dead, right? Like the character is really just how good of a decision can you make, and if the decision is good, you're either get a kill, but most importantly, it's not dying. If you die on this character, you're useless. And also, it's really hard to get value on this character because the meta has a bunch of poke heroes. It still has Phoenix, Hela still crazy strong. Namor is getting up there. I've been seeing a bunch of Namor. Cyclops got added. He's another hit scan DPS player. Devil Dino has some range. Like this character, the skill ceiling is crazy just because of how difficult the meta is and how like crazy you get punished for your mistakes. So skill ceiling, I think this is a 10, honestly. Like he's crazy difficult. Like once you get up there, he's like, I don't know how y'all do it. All right, now at a skill minimum, this kind of ties into his skill ceiling. Like you get punished so much. I feel like you need to be better than you would on most tanks in order to play him. Like if you need to be like a 5 out of 10 Magneto to play him in comp, I feel like you need to be like at least an 8 out of 10 at Hulk in order to whip him out in comp. So for skill minimum, before you whip him out at ranked, I feel like you need to be at least an 8. Like this character is just that unforgiving. You make a mistake and you're gone. Your team is down a tank. That shit is hard. Alright, now tech. He has a bunch of tech, right? Obviously you have bunny hopping. Bunny hopping, I don't think it's as hard as people say, just because people don't tell you the easiest way to bunny hop, right? I'm not gonna explain how to bunny hop. If you know how to bunny hop, I'm gonna just tell y'all something to make it easier for you. But a way to cancel the wall grab is literally to just look away from the wall. All you have to do is jump towards the wall, do what you would normally do, but look away from the wall and it'll automatically cancel it for you. You don't have to let go of your jump. You can just start holding your jump. As long as you look away, it cancels it automatically. That's what cancels it. It's not like the canceling the grab or whatever, the grab gets canceled automatically if you look away. It's why corner b hopping is so easy. It's because you don't even have time to look at the wall. Like I'm gonna try to show it in the practice round, but look away from the wall and you'll automatically get the cancel. Like it's so easy once you learn this. I feel like if you were taught this like at the start, I feel like it would be way easy. But look at how easy it is to cancel if you just look away from the wall, right? So yeah, like Hulk is still a little laggy because like the b hopping is so dependent on like your ping. If you're on high ping, you can't b hop for some reason. Like you feel like you're stuck to the ground. Another thing for tech, like there's so much for b hops. Like you can b hop if you graze like the top of the stairs, which I can't do. You again, like you have all the different kinds of juggles that I think count as tech. I don't know. Like this character, I feel like the tech is crazy on this character for having such a simple kit. Like people really just, I don't know, bro. All right, so for tech, we're gonna give Hulk a 10 out of 10, right? I just realized I forgot to rate the skill minimum. The skill minimum, no, I did rate this. I put it at an 8. Yeah, they're tripping. Learning curve, I can tell y'all right now, I feel like if Hulk was explained better, I feel like it would be a lot easier to learn. But as it goes, again, nobody tells you the looking away from the wall trick. I feel like it's really hard to learn him. First of all, because a lot of people didn't really make Hulk content because he used to be trash. But you got like Zoltaic, you got Greg Albert, you got Bad JD. Zoltaic and Greg Albert are doing like a bunch of like anytime any Hulk tech comes out, they try to explain it to people, right? Whether it's true or not. Sometimes it's just like some weird shit you can't explain. But anyway, there's like so much Hulk content out right now. I feel like it's easier to learn him now than ever, but I still think the learning curve for him is super difficult. I'm gonna put him at an 8 out of 10, bro. All right, so this adds up to a total of 43. So he's the highest, in my opinion, in terms of skill tanks that we've had so far. So yeah. All right, so next we have Magneto. This is the tank that I got the most hours in. So I know a lot about this tank, right? But that means basically nothing. He's a really simple character. But anyway, the mechanics for this character are booty, which means that there are no mechanics. There's nothing that you need to know. There's no... That's just that. I don't have to explain it. You know this character has no mechanics. I don't know, bro. Mechanics, we're gonna give him the minimum 1, bro. That's it. Skill ceiling. This character, I think the skill ceiling is high just because people underestimate how strong this combo is because of how hard it is to hit in game. Also, your rotation of the bubbles, sometimes, you know, people get greedy. You just see the E and you automatically want to bubble somebody. Sometimes you use your shield at the wrong time, you know. And also the ultimate, like being able to actually hit this, I feel like if you hit it consistently, you're automatically like a great Magneto. Like the ultimate has been bugged for like 2 seasons. You could hit him directly, it won't do any damage, bro. I want him to fix that. But skill ceiling, just because of how sauceless the character is, I feel like honestly the skill ceiling's a 7. All you need is good aim, which is easy with this character. I feel like I average like 60%. He's a really easy character, bro. The only hard thing about this character is hitting your ult. Like getting value with your old cloak and daggers, you're not hitting a cloak and dagger in season 8.5. Like, I'm sorry. Skill minimum, again, he's really easy to aim. Look, I'm already hitting him. This counts as my aim, by the way. My accuracy is going up. So skill minimum is in the garbage. The only thing that you actually need to try for is your ultimate. Your ultimate is the only thing that saves this character from a straight 1, bro. A skill minimum to whip this character out in ranked, in my opinion, it's a 4. Just spend like 10 minutes learning the character and you're fine. And also, this not on the list, but mentally, this is the easiest character to play. You never get blamed for anything. You could throw a 1 in 10 and nobody's gonna blame you. They're gonna blame your DPS, I promise you. All right, tech, he has no tech. Straight minimum rating. Learning curve, easy. I'm gonna give it a 2. Like a really easy character. Like the ultimate, I feel like, again, the ultimate is the only thing that saves him. Like if you learn how to time your ults correctly, how to track the enemy ults. Sometimes you can hit the cloak and dagger like in between her dashes. I feel like that's again the only thing that saves this character from being a straight 1. But yeah, that's all the leeway I'm gonna give him. So yeah, so he gets a straight 17 points. All right, so Magneto might be my most played tank, but Venom is for sure my best tank. Like every time I whip him out, it's like riding a bike. You just don't forget. Also, the only reason I played this character is because I realized how good I was on him. I haven't played him in a little minute, but that's just because I've been learning a bunch of other tanks. So yeah, so mechanics, right? What do you need to know mechanically? Mechanically, the hardest thing to do was the slash, but it got removed, so we can't even count that. We can't count that anymore, right? So mechanics, I would say the only difficult or mechanically ish thing that you need to do is just the insta slam, right? Which isn't that hard, I'm gonna be honest. It just looks nice, and also you feel good while doing this. You can also b-hop, right? And also this might be a mechanic, just slamming, blah blah blah. But again, he doesn't have crazy mechanics, so we're gonna put his mechanics as straight 6. All right, now his skill ceiling wise, I feel like, again, I might be biased, but his skill ceiling is as high as any other tank, right? Like the rollouts for this character are crazy. Like if you've seen any of Snake Hase's videos, you know the rollouts, the b-hopping. You need so much aim to play this character, right? You need aim, but you do need crazy aim, because you're like all in their face, like you're like timing your abilities and all that. Like in my opinion, he has a really high skill ceiling. Like he's crazy. So skill ceiling wise, I'm gonna give him a straight 8. Skill minimum in order to play the character, I don't even have to go into the practice range. All you need to do is stall, right? You have a bunch of get out of free cards. You have your wall climb, you have a slam, you have your web swing, which you should be using to get out. That's pretty much it, right? Sometimes you have your ultimate. Again, you get 2000 HP if you get enough people. 2000 HP with all that overshield. Like, I don't think he's that hard to play at the minimum. So I'm gonna say the minimum to play Venom, in my opinion, is a 6, just because of the value that you can get just off being annoying, right? You don't have to get kills, you just have to be annoying, distract them. We can take care, as soon as one person falls, the person that you were distracting basically becomes like the weakest link, right? Like the whole team's gonna go down, trust. All right, so tech, obviously you got all the rollouts. You got bunny hopping, right? Which isn't that difficult. You got insta slamming, right? I mean, I guess this counts as a tech. You have to time your ultimates, right? I don't know. I don't think he's that crazy with tech. Maybe it's just because I'm used to him, but again, I don't know, I might be missing something. I don't think he's crazy, but just because of the variety that he has, I think he has I think I'm gonna give him a 6 when it comes to tech. And then learning curve, just off rip, I feel like learning Venom is really easy, but mastering him, it's not really hard, but it takes more time than people realize. It takes more time than people realize to get like into that state with Venom. So I'm gonna put his learning curve at a 7, right? It's not crazy, but it's also not easy. So we end up with the 34 for Venom. All right, now Groot, just off rip, he doesn't have that many mechanics. I feel like most of Groot's gameplay is just straight decision making, right? One thing about Groot, I feel like he's a lot harder to play than people realize, because people in lower ranks ban him just because he's a valid ban, right? But he's not valid in those lower ranks. I don't think he's valid until you get to Diamond, right? Even in Diamond, the Groots are trash. Like, they're not crazy. Like, that's all I have to say. So for mechanics, I'm gonna just put him at like a 3, bro. He doesn't have almost any mechanics, but he's pretty difficult. So you have to be like, okay, just because of how quick you need to be with the walls and stuff, like I'm gonna count that as a mechanic. But again, he's not like mechanically like challenging or anything. Now, ceiling, in my opinion, to play Groot, again, you need to be better at the character than most people realize. I feel like the average Groot in the mid ranks is pretty trash. I don't remember the last time I even went up against a Groot. I don't even remember the last time he was banned in this current season, right? Like, people are banning other characters, so skill thing is high, but I really don't know. I really haven't seen, like, honest to whatever, bro. I have not seen a Groot in a long time. I feel like the ceiling is like a 7, just because I remember the Groots before this season, they were kind of crazy. All right, the skill minimum to play Groot, in my opinion, you need to know your wall placements, you need to learn your ult timings, but that's pretty much it. But those two things are really difficult for most people, especially the walls. As soon as you swap to like a Punisher, I've seen a lot of people swap to Squirrel Grow to counter the walls. Like, as soon as you do that, a lot of Groots cannot play into their counters. So I feel like the skill minimum is still higher than most people realize. All right, tech, he doesn't have no tech. I feel like the only tech he has is like twerking tech.
They took Groot's twerk out, but he still has one if you go forward on the wall. Hold on, you gotta be in the corner. There you go. They still got Groot's twerk if you're in the corner. Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad they didn't take that out.
No, they took out the backwards one, but you can still do this one.
He had some like launching tech, but I'm pretty sure that got removed. So tech straight 1, I don't care. Learning curve, he's pretty easy to learn. You have your iron wall, you have 2 walls, your ultimate. Like, what? Like, he's not that difficult. I'm gonna give him a 4, bro. This character is pretty easy to learn. All right, so we end up with a score of 21. All right, that's where I'm gonna end it off. I'm not gonna lie, this video is longer than I thought it was gonna be, so I'm gonna do it in parts. But yeah, if y'all got any, you feel me, like, if you feel like that I'm tripping, just put it in the comments. You know, maybe I am tripping, I don't know. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna end off the video.